So hi everyone, welcome again to another
conversation with the Lees.
Happy to have you tuning in. We see our viewership going up and up. Thank you guys, thank you for the support, thank you for sharing the link, thank you for subscribing, thank you for telling a friend and a friend tell a friend. Help us spread the word, help us reach persons with the information that we have. I mean, it's our little journey, but we want to use what we have experienced, what we have learned to help others, especially those who are hoping to get married, those who are married and having challenges, those who are not having challenges. We can bounce things off of each other. So we just do our little part, to help others, along the journey. So thanks for coming in. Thanks to our subscribers. Yes. 168 and counting. We need to get to 300, guys. So when you come on and you watch the video, subscribe, click the like, click the share, so we can spread the word. All right. So we are having a teamwork here. All right. So tonight we're going to be looking at something, the top 5 things that we would, give as advice to those who are married, those who are, mainly to those who are married, So we separately decided what would be our top 5. She has her top 5. I have my top 5. I don't know what her top 5 is. She don't know what my top 5 is. But let's see what comes out of this. So we're gonna, as I said, speak about our top 5 things that we would give advice on, whether in terms of good or bad. Either way, we're gonna give our advice about concerning it. So ladies first. Ladies first.
All right, my top 5 is,
first up, we'll give it one by one.
Okay, my first one is not being truthful because you may be afraid that it hurts. Yes, so that's the first one. What do I mean by that? You know that sometimes in the relationship, things may happen and the spouse may think that they're helping by withholding the truth because they don't want to hurt their spouse's feelings. That's a good idea.
But why is it not a good idea? Because what if you feel like, if him here or if she here, the trust is going to break and I'm going to feel hurt and I really want to hurt them, so you just keep it to yourself.
I mean, it's a thing where I think you don't want to hurt the person's feeling, so you may sidestep the truth, and in trying to sidestep the truth, the other individual, pick up that, okay, you're not being truthful, and then you're misunderstood, and it may escalate into something other than what you may even, both of you were concerned about.
Yeah.
Till you can't even remember what you were maybe being upset about.
I'm in agreement, because the fear of not saying it cripples you, and your behavior changes, your attitude changes, how you treat your spouse changes, and believe you me, it changes the relationship. Even if it's even for a while, it changes it. So it is best to just come clean, and what is required though is for the party who is the one being told, after somehow be willing to hear what the person, and then make a decision from there. Because if the person fear coming to you because it going to end up worse than them think, they may no one come to you. So you want to still keep your openness, that the person can feel that even though there's something wrong or bad, they can come and share it with you, and hopefully you both can work it out together. So that's her number 1. My number 1 is, and this one goes to the fellas, listen to your wife, because they have a 6th sense. Yeah, listen to your wife. And what do I mean by that? A lot of times we as men, especially if we're grown up a particular way, we tend to know or think we know exactly what we want, or how to handle this or how to handle that. And sometimes because of our grow, or we were grown up, we can say, okay, me know how to handle the situation, or I know what to do in this situation. Yes, but then your wife will say, you need to watch out for that, or you need to look out for that. And you say, no, sir, I don't know. And then now, lo and behold, the same something you say nothing turn out to be something.
Yeah.
So it's good. It is good to listen to your wife, and what it does also, it gives her an opportunity to feel that she's genuinely a part of the decision-making process in your life, whether it's about something together or something for you as as the husband or the spouse. She as the husband, because it's advice to the husband. So as the husband, if it's something that is just personal to you, and even to get her view on it, and you can hear her out and listen to her. Even if it don't make sense sometime, we can try it, but still give her give an open ear to what your spouse has to say.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with it. You know, because of course, many times, you know, because you do have spouses that are genuinely nice, are friendly, and you know, with those traits, it's easy to be misinterpreted or misunderstood.
I think misinterpreted is
misinterpreted, right?
Your kindness can be misconstrued
right.
to be, I'm interested in you, or
you know?
whatever.
And because it's a natural thing that in human being, God placed a place for, affection. Natural for people are joined
and
to
companionship.
And companionship. People are joined to each other by simply being nice,
associated,
and being nice and friendly and all of that. But sometimes, you know, even as females, at times we may read into it to be even more than what it is. And when you're a married person, there have to be guidelines, even the way in which we behave, so our good cannot be, you know, misinterpreted and so forth. And it saves stress. And for instance, you're a spouse like that, who you're an outgoing person, sociable person, just even if you don't even see when you're crossing a line, but when you're spouse, your significant other come to you and say, babe, you know, just be careful and cautious about so and so, you know, because, you know, even though I know you don't mean anything, I don't want it to be misunderstood. So, you know, don't do that blaze up and say you're jealous, like, are you jealous? Are them woman is jealous? A jealous man. I mean, the argument can turn left in no time. And many times it plays out like that. You know, your
although
intentions.
sometimes you can't deny, sometimes both male and female have jealousy.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to decipher which is when. Because if you're able to decipher, if you're not able to decipher, you can miss a good advice.
Yep.
You can miss a good advice.
That's true. So just look out for the signs, because, and again, you may even have some.
No, but the signs is that you have a sixth sense.
Right. But it's easier for even the spouse may even take that same message easier and quicker from somebody else other than their significant other.
Yeah, that happens.
You know, that happens sometimes. So, I mean, it's good. They follow the sixth sense, it cannot go wrong.
And men, they have it. Hands down. Yes, number.
Okay, my number two. Oh Lord, it's not saying sorry. I think one of the biggest problem in a relationship, you know, and in communication and everything, is to say sorry, because at some point we will offend each other as married people. Things will happen, not deliberately, but we will rub against the grid, maybe innocently, you know, maybe provokingly, maybe purposefully, in whichever way. But my thing is that once you find out that and you realize that you're wrong, say sorry. You know, there's something that I've learned, you know, someone was saying that, okay, because I'm not the person who loves to say sorry without seeing that I'm wrong, so yeah, I'm working on that.
She said it in the very first video. So if you want to hear what she said, go back to the first video.
So someone was saying to me some time ago that, you know, that sometimes it's okay, even when you don't see where you're sorry, to say, okay, I can understand that what I may have done may have hurt your feelings, and you know, that's not my aim. So with that, I just want to say that I'm sorry for that. And you know, you can do that, and that will even erase some of the friction from the conversation and all of that, you know. And also, sometimes we know that we are wrong, but because of pride, maybe, you know, you have persons that because of pride, they may feel that, okay, I'm not ready to say sorry or what have you. I mean, that is not healthy. It really isn't. What
it does too, it opens the avenue for both persons to even get more affectionate and closer. Yes. Because what it does, you're saying, I consider how you feel, and yes, I'm sorry. I consider that, okay.
Care about your feelings.
Right. And so what that does now, it gives that person an openness to say, all right, you're taking into consideration how I feel about it. And what will happen, you're going to be reciprocated. Right. You're going to be reciprocated.
That's true, you know.
So my number 2 is have a pattern for leaving the house and for coming in. Have a pattern. And this is what I mean. We developed a pattern. Before I leave the house, I hug and I kiss goodbye. When I come in, is the same thing. Welcome with a, come with a kiss and come with a hug. When you do that, it may sound simple, but God forbid that it is the last act you do before, you understand me? You leave the house and you don't come back. That would be the last beautiful act you did to your spouse. You understand me? That's one. And 2, my take for that too is this. If me and my wife is like, me and her are on par, it's hard for me to do it. Why? You know why? If me and her on par, it's hard for me to just kiss her and hug her like my normal. Why? It means something to me. It means when I hug and I kiss her, say goodbye, or later on, soon come back or whatever, it means something. So I can't, it's not something where me just say, it's just a casual kiss and bye-bye. No, it actually means that I'm going to miss you, soon come back. Right? So if I'm not, and you can leave your comments if you think I'm wrong. But I just don't, I find it difficult if I'm upset with her, if you just kiss and say later on, because it means something for me. Something has to make sure you know, say,
but nevertheless, if they kiss you, say bye though.
I will, no man, definitely.
Said, I'm
but
leaving
the kiss
now.
may not be. I may not be the
I'm
kiss.
leaving now.
But I said, later, or
and
I'm leaving now.
My opinion so is that that's fairly okay, because you don't need to pretend. If you are genuinely upset about something until you get the time to settle it properly, don't pretend and act as if, you know, all is well. No, because the truth is the person already know that you're upset. So when you just approach, you're trying to show unnecessarily lovey-dovey affection when it's not there. That also can erode the genuine times and the genuineness. So let us just be honest in yourself, because the spouse pick it up. Okay, he's upset with me. I know he's not gonna be loved, and maybe the spouse don't even want you to be kissed that morning either, you know, because they know what happened. But at the end of the day, still be respectful, you know, and say, you know, you're leaving the house, I'm not here, see you later. We cannot be unfair. If you know that the person is upset, you should know your spouse by now that, okay, you know, get the hug and the kisses. And things are settled,
and it don't change, don't because you understand.
Yeah, you should understand. That's you respecting each other's space when it's needed.
In that time.
Right? And no one should build even more strife and situation. You leave out of the house and you didn't get a hug, you didn't get a kiss. That's like, come on.
As if you don't know there's something going on.
Didn't you know that there are unresolved issues? You know, but the truth is, in relationships, even these little nonsense, you know, can build to a fragile situation and cause more friction. You know, so that is fine. So number 3, this don't really relate to me, because we have hiding phone from spouse from ever since we know. If you bought me our first phone, you are able to access it, I'm able to access yours, and so hiding a phone from a spouse or your significant other, putting a code, that within itself, it kind of brought forth some sort of doubt. It brings to the forefront that.
And I know
what is he? What is she hiding?
We will get some comments on this because a person will say my phone is my personal thing, but the truth is, if you're in a relationship, you're supposed to can take up your phone and looking at it.
Yeah.
You're supposed to can put your finger or his finger on your phone and access or
at some
or have your
time.
code at any given time.
At a given time, and it should not be also because nevertheless, I do believe that couples should give each other space and trust. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't believe in a woman or a man snooping in their spouses or significant others.
But so, for example, the phone ring. You
should be able to answer it. For instance, you're having a bath.
Yeah. Man, why you got my phone for? Give me my phone, man. Give me my phone. Why you got my phone, man? Ain't nothing in my phone.
Using the restroom, and the phone is right beside me where I'm at, and I'm going to have to, babe or honey or whatever,
come get your phone.
Your phone is ringing. You want to tell me that I can swipe the phone or open the phone to either take a message or even respond to the call and bring the phone to you? That's ridiculous. Right. You understand? And you do, nevertheless, I'm not naive to the fact that there are relationships out there like that. Yeah. But if you value your spouse and you value your relationship, you have to set it that you trust each other and not being naive about the situation now. You understand? And it should be reciprocal. Yeah. It should be reciprocal, because the truth is, the day as I can't go into your phone or your significant other can't go into your phone, that within itself is like raising a reasonable doubt. And what is there to be hidden? You're hiding something. What you're hiding? Yeah. And while you have some spouses wherein some men, they can access the lady's phone, but the lady cannot access them.
And vice versa.
Yeah,
because I've heard the lady say, you can't get on my phone. But I think for those situations, maybe they're not really, maybe not fully committed to the relationship, or maybe they come to some understanding. But I think we believe that for husband and wife, we should have access to each other's phone.
Transparency. Once you have that openness, the lady won't even, or the men, don't want to be interested to even look in your phone. Yeah. You know, it's so weird, but
it should be something that, I mean, free access, but maybe people have different structure.
Yeah.
Just saying. All right, so my third one is surprise her. Surprise her. You don't have to wait till Valentine's Day. You don't have to wait till her birthday. You don't have to wait till anniversary. And this goes for even your mother, if you know, because women love to be surprised. That's true. Women love to feel special, and sometimes when you just pop up, send lunch, or you pop up, send a rose, or you pop up, even if she's in a meeting, you send her a love note, or you're in a meeting, whatever. You understand me? Surprise her, because what it does, it keeps the fire, and I'm talking about it because it's 20 years now, so me can tell you, it keeps the fire, and so don't wait for special times to do it. I mean, there were days when, before I leave, I'd write a note and leave it in the drawer. When she pull the drawer out, she see a note saying whatever. That's a good surprise. You understand me? True. So you don't have to take even hold my money neither. You don't have to buy one Lamborghini with a Red Bull.
You know that's a plus.
There you go. To each his own. Go ahead.
But nevertheless, the truth is, put fun and joke aside. Surprises are good, because what it do, it softens the atmosphere
especially
between
if you know
each
something
other.
to go on, like I said, go on. This is the part, brother. If you know a disagreement to go on, you know what you can do? Even if you are not at fault, one way to break the ice is to just send a surprise. Yeah. Because you're not expecting it, because you're not upset about something. I'm going to act real now. You're not upset about something. Send a surprise. Just send something with a chocolate, whatever you think she love, or you know she loves. Send it. And that will break the ice. When you go home, she sort of like porridge again. And you can get to talk it over. Because it's not a matter of sending her something to to erode what happened. No, you're sending something to soften it, because the conversation was, at the time, was too hard. You couldn't, we were bucking heads. So you soften the moment, and then you can move him back and have a good conversation. So surprises are good.
All right, and that's true, because not even if you have a disagreement, sometimes it fixes, because sometimes you don't know what your spouse may be going through at work or at home, wherever they are, and just that nice little reminder or gesture that I'm thinking of you, you understand, it changes the atmosphere. The atmosphere, and reprogram and the minds and the mood. You understand, and give you something to smile about. So it is effective. It is. You know. Number 4 is another thing in relationship is lifting our voices. Both men and women at times find themselves guilty about this, because the truth is there's emotions. We're made up of emotions. We're alive. We're sensitive to touch and everything around us. So while most of the time it may not be deliberate, you understand, because once emotion come in play, the atmosphere changes, good, bad, wherever. But one of the key things within relationship that we have to do is when no matter how upset we are, try not to shout over each other, because most of the time that within itself, it ignites, you understand, the conflict. It ignites the conflict to the point that, you know, some people may see it as disrespectful. Some people may see it as they're not listening to me. And rightfully so, sometimes you have some person that you shut off totally when somebody, you know, start to raising their voice, because from ever since you're a child, your mother raises their voice at you. You cry, even a baby. If a baby is touching something that they're not supposed to, and you lift your voice, even to protect them, for them to hear and seize, the first thing they do is cry. But as adults, you're not really going to cry. Well, some people might be shut up and cry, but they're going to be a shutdown situation, while others will even try to shout above, and then nothing get resolved. It just ignites. So
what it does then, what is required, is that both persons have to just listen to each other.
Yes.
And for me, honestly, we have had those moments.
Yes.
And maybe if I was driving summertime, if I had this, when those moments come, probably just drive or give myself a breeze and go out and come back. Because sometimes, not just sometimes, in the heat of the moment, if you don't think you're being heard, the discussion or the disagreement goes south, then you begin to project your voice, and persons who are around you, and people think you're in a quarrel, and especially if you're Christians. So it's something that you don't condemn each other about. Something to, if it's something that you have a handle on, good. But if not, something to really work on, you know, because you want to be heard, and you want your spouse to be heard also. So it's about thinking about each other, even in those circumstances. Yeah. So my number 4 is express your feelings. It kind of coincides with what she just said. No, Markia, she don't know what my 5 was. I didn't know what her 5 was. Express your feelings. Expressing your feelings, as old people tell us, is not what you say, it's how you say it. Yeah. So even expressing your feelings, if you know how to express it, don't just throw it out there. But at the same time, don't buckle it up. Because when you buckle it up, like one day it is going to explode. So what it requires is that your spouse must give you an opportunity, that freedom to vent. And in your venting, don't just vent because you get the freedom to vent. Yeah. Vent conscientiously, that she or he can receive what you're saying, right? Because the truth is, when you buckle things up, it can move into resentment. And from resentment, you can separate yourself mentally, though you're there physically. And that, no, remember, everything that we do starts from the mind. So if you separate it in the mind, eventually your body will have to follow. But before that, it even get there, make sure you express yourself, and your spouse must give you the opportunity to express, and, you know, vice versa.
Yeah, that is true. Sometimes, you know, that's a bit too personal, but we have to be real. I think that is one of the things where sometimes I fall short with, like, you know, you're expressing yourself at times, and it's like, because something is being said, you're not trying to be disrespectful, but you're trying to answer an issue that is being expressed. And while you're trying to answer that issue that is being expressed, it comes across sometimes as being disrespectful, and rightfully so, because you're trying not to forget maybe what the person was saying, and you want to deal with it and break down there, but the person have not, you know, they have not stopped from talking. They're still talking. And but this is something that happens so easily within disagreement, because someone will be expressing, for example, and you know, even like you can say, every time, you understand, every time you say the same things, you know, and it hurts me, and I want you to know that it hurt me. But you know, instead, you know, like church people will put up their finger. You're upset, you know, every time you put up my finger to interject or anything, and you shouldn't really be interjecting. But you're saying, you know, that is not every time. Every time, you might button and say, every time I disrespect you.
So if be someone she's saying, I probably could add a number 6, but they're not going to. But
right,
you don't, like,
that's
certain
a
words,
no-no.
certain words you can't use.
Yeah.
Every time, always. Every time, always. You can't. Those words.
You never. No, you have never.
Don't.
How when lost? Yes, because the truth is, as females,
upset,
that's true. As females, we don't pick and choose what adjective to use when we are upset. Not that you're being respectful, but when you use every time, I come to understand, it may be 1 and 2 times, but it builds more resentment and anger on the other person who's trying to express themselves, because there again, yeah, you understand, all you hear is every time, which is not every time, but that is not even relevant within the conversation itself. But because we are so quick to respond and so quick, what does it mean by every time? I don't do this every time. So it's like back and forth, till when you look into it, you say, wait, what were we arguing about again? You understand? So, you know, I'm not going to sit here and act as if it's all attained, because not really, but it's a work in progress. And while we've been through some of these things, and some things are work in progress, we've come to find out that what are the do's and really what are the don'ts.
That's why we're sharing.
So that's why we're sharing. You know, so I mean, if you're in the situation where some of these negative things apply, don't kill yourself. It's good that you can identify them, and that's a start. Once you identify them, you know that it's a work in progress. Keep trying, keep trying. You just need to keep trying.
And be patient.
And you will attain, you know, eventually. And be patient with each other. Yeah. And be fair to each other. You understand? My number 5 is ignoring spouse. Alright. Ignoring spouse doesn't mean that, okay, he's here, but he's not here, really. In simple little things. You know, it may be that even at times, you know, you're rightfully busy. Yeah. You're busy doing something, and you know your spouse may come around you or come behind you and I try and make much, and they say, yeah, I'm busy, man. Or maybe you don't even realize that they were trying to rub up on you and trying to, you know, get your attention, because you're so into what you're doing. And rightfully so. But at the end of the day, we have to be flexible and we have to pay attention. And while you can easily well say, I'm a big man, he must understand going, or she must understand, I say I'm busy. You know, these little things, let us not ignore them. Because
the thing about it is this, how you treat with other persons, they can't treat your spouse. In other words, wherein if other persons come and disturb you what you're doing, you can say to them, just cool them and love me, man. But with your spouse, you will say, babes, so come, or babes, give me some time. Why? You give a softer answer to your spouse than that give to somebody else. Why? Because your spouse is different from the other person. You understand me? So, yeah, again, it comes back to being conscientious or conscious of what you're doing. Because, so though you're focused on something, you don't want to ignore your spouse. So if she come on and
she busy too.
Because believe me, if I'm doing something and my wife come and rest our breast on my back, it's, you know, this will have to wait a little bit more because, you know, attention change. You understand? But if it's something that I have to do and serious, I'll say, hey, cool man, look later.
Yeah,
and
or you can respond.
Yeah.
Be back, whether in whatever form your spouse is seeking the attention, respond.
Yeah. And
then it take few seconds, even to lay back, rub back your head.
And you see the advice she gave? She
been through it.
I'm glad you know.
Because
you can play this back and play this back.
It's true, because even to be more real, I was ironing, was it today?
Yes, today.
Yeah, yesterday. What, today? Oh, yeah, I was ironing this morning before I went to grocery.
You were right there at the table.
What was I doing again? I was doing some work. Yesterday I was doing an alteration for somebody, and because the person wanted very early in the morning. But watch this. Normally, like when he comes behind me and brace, you know,
no, like I be passing, but me have a space so we just rub on she.
He deliberately rub on trying to get my attention, and I know what was happening, because normally I would just contest and say, you know, be cheeky back, so he know that I get the attention. I give him back the attention that he was given.
Not this time.
The message, but not this. That wasn't so yesterday. I was like, babe, I'm busy. You understand? Her response was, okay.
That used to be funny.
That used to be funny. It's not funny anymore. So I realized what was, you know, that he was, you know, getting the feelings away. So I said, no, man, babe. It's just that, you know, I'm just hurrying up to get something done because the person needs it, you know.
I mean, but I took it.
So basically, yeah. So you have to respond, but don't just say, I'm lucky, or you must have something more, you know. So you have to identify what's happening. And deal with it.
Right, so the last one on my list and last one for this video. Brothers, married men, wear your ring.
Oh Lord.
If you have a ring, you get married, you have a ring, wear the ring, brother.
Yeah.
It's your first line of defense. It's your first line of defense. Meaning, when you have on a ring, the lady will, and a lady on the outside will approach you with caution, and she'll even ask you, "You're married?" And you say yes. Most of them have the decency to just walk away. Now, if you don't have on your ring, with my ring of 20 years, my finger mark. See, my finger even mark. So if I take it off, the impression is still there to say, "Yo, I'm married." Now, having on the ring saves you some trouble. If you look good and, you know, you well put up prim and proper because your wife saw you and you're good, there are other ladies who are going to see you. But this is your first line of defense. So wear your ring.
It's a symbol for a reason.
Yeah. So wear your ring. And I picked, the one I picked was them say, boy, this is like a granny ring. So I don't mind, because I would me like. So I didn't just take a ring because I'm married. I took a ring that I actually like wearing. You understand? Yeah. Because
that is true, because I can remember when, because before now, if you watch previous video, you realize that he wasn't this strong and neither was I so firm. Yes. So his finger now, it got stout. So his ring had to be sized. So before that now, he normally sleeps in his ring, but there comes a time when he used to take it off a lot because even it was sticking in his flesh. And I can remember, I used to be when I'm going to work, I don't understand how your ring just on the dresser and you're not wearing it. I said, babe, you don't see the struggle that I'm in to take off the ring. And, you know, whatever. Somebody said, all right, don't worry yourself. So basically, I get it sized. Yeah. You know, I get it sized.
Some finger get fat.
And if his finger got fat. But nevertheless, you understand what he did say is true. And it goes for ladies too, because many times when I go jogging by university, and even when I'm not jogging, when I'm going on the plaza or on the road, you have a lot of men will come up, what a go on Christian, you look nice, you know.
Because I know you want to go see your wife.
You understand? So sometimes, some of them, according to what they say, you may just give a face or you move on. But like, even for the decent one, I'm, you know, you're married yet? And I'll just... Because being annoyed, sometimes I put up my finger and say, what? Tell him say I'm lucky, you know, I'm lucky, you know. Alright, Christian, have a nice day. And I would go through that a lot. Till, you know, I was even saying it to Colonel and I said, you know, so ring really stand a purpose.
Yeah, man, it does.
It stand a purpose because
words
respectful
off, but
men,
you have some people who will try and push beyond it. But
respectful men
it's the first line of defense. I can tell you that.
Does work.
It is the
And
first line
even
of
for you men out there, whether you're saved or not, I mean, come on, you have the ring for a purpose. And some of you do have a motive for not want to wear the ring. You understand? If you reach to the point in a relationship that you have a motive for not wanting to wear a ring, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than the ring. It's bigger than the ring. Right. You know? So, you need to see a counselor or something.
So that's our top 5 things that I would advise you on, having been married for 20 years. And, you know, we could have added more, maybe another time. But for now, those are the first top 5 things we would advise, you know, married persons, you know, to the men, to the wife, to the lady. All right. So we hope you'll get something again from the video. We're going to be making a lot more videos. We're going to keep them coming. We are at 1 per week. We're going to try and increase it to 2 per week. You know, give you more content to pass on, to listen to or to watch. All right?
Just to add a note, the truth is, these may seem very simple things, seem like very simple things that people say, sure, but please, these are the small things that really adds up and get big.
Yeah.
Small little things. So while sometimes you have people spend so much money trying to find out why my relationship not working, you understand? What I'm doing everything, buy her the world and this and come on, save some of your money and spend time to listen. And pay attention to the small things, and you realize you have a more peaceful home, happy life, and save and even doctor bill. Because stress is what builds diseases, you know, sickness and illnesses. So.
Right. So again, thanks for coming in, thanks for joining. Thanks that if you watched the video to this far, it means
smash the button.
You have done
please.
well. And
smash the like button.
We were interested, so as she says, smash the button.
Yeah, smash.
And of course, share. All right.
Yes.
And if you are here for the first time, you can please subscribe. All right, so we can increase our subscription and get to thousands. All right. So remember to
like,
subscribe, and share. All right. See you on the other side. God bless.